This is Theodore at Lies of the Devil. Go to liesofthedevil.com. We're at the front line in a spiritual warfare. I want to talk about aliens and demonology. Now, I'm not going to, I can't go I can't get into too much detail with this, but I'm going to try to hit all the basic criteria. There's a new studio called Oats Studios run by a gentleman who created District 9, who produced or directed District 9 and Elysium, all these sci-fi films where basically his idea is that aliens, when they finally do come down to Earth, that they should immigrate in with humans ever so gently. And he has a very creative mind, but the fact is that Satan uses creativity and people and psychedelic drugs to implant ideas in them. And I want to talk about that essentially. Before we go into detail, go to liesofthedevil.com. If you're a Christian, get tons of free DVDs, okay? Tons of DVDs, and it's all free. Go out there and evangelize and start conversations. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun going out and evangelizing. I'm telling you, you guys will love it. I want to get into 2 Corinthians 10:5. Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. That means when you're writing stories and you're doing things with your creativity, if it's not under the obedience of Christ, it's vain, and it's satanic. More than likely, it will invoke Satanism in some way, shape, or form. Okay? Whether it be through perversion, pornography, whatever. So keep that in mind as we go through this. Now, this gentleman who is a director of these films, his name is, let me get up here. His name is Neill Blomkamp. That's who he is. He's a young guy, and essentially this Oats Studios that he's working on, it's his own little experimental film company, and the reason why he's doing this is because he doesn't like directors. He doesn't like that he has to pay attention or do everything that the Hollywood establishment wants them to do. Okay, so he makes films about aliens and whatnot. So somebody raised a question. You mentioned that you're looking into serious storytelling with some of these projects, okay, that we're going to show you here in a little bit, and incorporate some type of political commentary. Absolutely, because it's my genetic makeup that I'm just drawn to that. I think that's the reason I'm still drawn into Elysium. And we'll show what Elysium is, talking about how the elites live up into space and then everybody else lives in hell down on Earth after they create artificial intelligence. District 9 existed because it was an allegory directly connected to the apartheid. And just for argument's sake, looking at something like Alien exists as a Freudian exploration into a psychosexual nightmare and playing on those elements inside the human mind. Now, if you have not seen Alien Covenant, okay, go pick up this disc and go show people what this is all about, okay? Strangers, okay? People think that this is an alien. It's not an alien. The director himself admits it, that it's a Freudian psychosemantic sexual arousal nightmarish scenario that's a horror film, okay? Go watch Alien Covenant. I'm finishing up the actual documentary here soon, but a Satanist drew up the alien figure. The tail that everybody thinks is its tail is not a tail. It's a organ. It's a male organ. So let's just go back into this article. Basically, he wants to build a community of these new filmmakers. Okay, so this guy, where's he getting his ideas? I don't know. But he's getting his ideas from Satan. Okay, but let's look into his Oats Studio and what it's about. It's an experimental film company, so everybody says, well, I don't really know what it's about. It's just a collaborative effort of all these filmmakers making alien stuff.
To me, Oats is just...
Oh, it's different in almost every way.
It's kind of hard to explain exactly what it is.
It's run by Neill Blomkamp.
Oats is Neill's weird studio.
Really knows about it.
Guys, this is Casey.
Hi.
What's your name?
Pay attention to that Buddha head in the background, okay? That's a Buddha head. Hinduism.
My name is Steven.
Okay.
Clear instructions.
What is Oats? That is the question that we have been unable to answer for a very long time, and that's part of the allure of what Oats is.
Oats is a very inspired, a very
Watch Oats.
Here's a film that just came out. It's the newest film that they made, and it's basically an alien, basically a human hybrid alien that terrorizes people in the Antarctica. Okay. Okay, the film's called Zygote, and what a zygote is, and correct me if I'm wrong, baby, because she's a nurse, it's when the sperm and an egg meet together, and it's the first cell that's replicated from that interaction, right? And so the Zygote short film is essentially the new birth of an alien species and human beings, and the emergence between those two, the first cell that's replicated from that. And in fact, in this video, it looks like a Prometheus-type alien engineer that's laying on a table with its chest busted open. So again, it goes back to this guy, how he likes the alien films, and so he's just kind of replicating those ideas and to the way that he wants to do things. Okay, and again, this alien covenant, the alien is not an alien; it's the beast. Ridley Scott calls it his beast. That's what this guy's doing, only he's doing it in shorter clips and in a massive way. It's more dangerous than what Ridley Scott could have ever done with this. This is the way he views God by chance, just mocking God. This is how they view God.
It's a rain dance, so we forgot to turn off the drought.
Really? All right then. Give them some water for heaven's sake.
Really?
Yes. They're parched.
It would be my pleasure, sir.
So these little Native Americans are doing a rain dance, okay? And they think they're glorifying God.
Get so excited over the teeniest little things.
You do, don't you?
Dancing in a circle. Do it again, Jeffrey, spare some more. Look at the little loincloth. Go again, do it again. Release the plague.
Then he wants them to drop the plague. He wants to kill them off. Okay, this is how they view God. That God is just some being out there that does not care about anything. That just wants to he enjoys watching people and watching them suffer, and gives them goodies here and there, and then just wants to massively kill people just for the heck of it because he enjoys it. There you have it. Okay. So you've got the atheistic sci-fi nerd that's making films and is making fun of God, and people are absolutely loving it. Isn't that what the atheists always say? Isn't that what these people that hate God, that's what they always say? God is a mass murderer that just takes pleasure in messing with people. Like Zeus, the Greek mythological god that they created, that he just loves to mess around with people, and he sends different gods, aliens, sends different gods and different spirits to just mess with people. That's a sick god. That's how they look at him. And this guy is totally perverting the Bible by putting this junk out there. Okay? Here's his newest film, Raka. And Raka just means, it's a Japanese term for the fallen ones, okay?
They killed us in waves when they first arrived. They built these megastructures that spew methane, manufacturing their atmosphere. Sex. Humans. They hack into our psyche, into our minds, paralyzing us, taking control of the cerebrum and the limbic system, rendering us a slave. We've been able to design a brain barrier.
Now, I'm going to show you this brain barrier. See, they believe that aliens will have telekinesis powers, telepathic powers, and be able to speak to human beings, right? Because they all think these New Agers, okay? They all think that everybody's on a frequency and their heart vibrates a certain, frequency, and it's your heart chakra, and everybody can feel it, and your aura because of all these different elements that are inside your body, and they don't think it's a soul. It's all about vibrations and colors and nonsense. Okay, so look up Transformers. Go watch the Transformers video where I explain to people that this movie says more than what meets the eye. Transformers, The Last Night, okay? The actual robot, the actual aliens is going to be the artificial intelligence. Transformers, the Autobots, when they say that those are the aliens, it's because it's artificial intelligence. That is what is going to... That's how people are going to be able to hack into our minds. Mega tech corporations. Aliens that live up there, demonology and stuff like that, it's all in the mind. It's all here, okay? It's whatever they can put out there in Hollywood to brainwash you and to implant false ideas into you, and psychedelic drugs that open up spiritual doorways. It's whatever Satan wants to show, whatever you want to see, Satan will show you it, okay? That's what this whole thing is. So really, it's the artificial intelligence and the technology that is the aliens that people should watch after. I'm going to show you this article here. High-tech Beanie could allow humans to achieve telepathy within a decade, expert claims. And we just showed you the video in the Oats Studios where they show this. The technology developed by Open Water works via a piece of clothing such as a ski hat lined with LCDs. While the technology has significant potential for disease detection, the company's ultimate aim is to develop it for communication via thought in just 8 years. They got to make it look cool and trendy, so they put it in a beanie. But there you go. Let me show you the video here. What are they doing? Okay?
Protects us from their influence. They know we can't produce enough of these for everyone. That it's just a matter of time before the entire planet is theirs. Every vile, deceptive, chemical emotion tells us it isn't. Futures you see. They do experiments all day and all night. They tear people apart.
It's wounded! That f***ing thing don't...
Sorry about that. I did not mean the F word. I guess I'm going to have to edit that out. But so this whole Raka situation, it's the first film that they put out that's talking about these aliens that are taking over the world and basically enslaving mankind. This is no different than the Sumerian texts that said that aliens before Jesus, okay, before the Bible was written, okay, this is what they say, before Noah, before Adam and Eve, that aliens came down and enslaved mankind to mine gold because they needed it for their home planet, okay? So this concept of aliens and demonology has been around for a very long time. They're just rehashing it nowadays. They're just rehashing it for us. Okay? So these aliens are going to come and enslave mankind, and that's the new god. Those are the new gods to look up to. Now, the problem with Aliens, 9 incredible things we learned from CIA's declassified documents. Alien psychic powers and invisible ink recipes. Go look these documents up. I don't have time to go through them with you guys here. But among the more unusual records include the CIA's secret search for alien life and recipes for invisible ink. So you can actually go search the records. This guy right here, Uri Geller, I did a video on this. I can't remember what video it was. I believe it was... Ooh, you guys have to go look through it. But essentially this guy, he was a spy, and he actually would sit in one room, another guy would sit in another room, and he could actually read the person's thoughts, what they drew on a piece of paper, and he would draw pretty much the same thing or close to it. Okay, and these are CIA operations. Stargate, where they use psychics and mediums to solve crimes at police stations, or they use them to build technology. Okay, and anyway, so that's what this is all about. But here's the thing: they don't know anything about aliens. They can't prove that there's aliens. Okay, because it's all in people's heads. The CIA's secret hunt for alien life. The CIA studied photographs of alleged sightings of unidentified flying objects. One report featured an unusual phenomenon spotted on the Iranian-USSR border in June 1966. We suddenly observed a brilliant white sphere approximating coloration intensity of a full bright moon. The sphere appeared suddenly, and at the first sighting was approximately 3 times the size of the full moon. So the threat of UFOs, right? That's what everybody's scared of. Well, what are UFOs? And we'll get into that soon. Another report featured diagrams of what spacecraft from other worlds might look like and discussed if they were a possible threat to American security. So there is no threat. It's just a possible threat. And they're using aliens, and they're using the idea of spacecraft so that they can develop their own technology. It's the perfect way to hide secret military operations. Okay? That's what this all is. The people have false implanted ideas through propaganda, and then the government is just going, whoa, that's like a perfect cover for us to create spacecraft. That's what this whole thing is. It's all a facade. And guess what? Satan is allowing it because he wants the military-industrial complex to continue rapidly manufacturing war machines. All right? This whole thing is fake. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. When people sit out there and they see that alien spacecraft zipping in and around the sky and all that, that is Satan revealing himself to those individuals because that's what they want to see. Okay? That's what it is. It's people call it fallen angel technology. I call it Satan showing you what you want. And it's not that people want to see that, but when you sit down and you ask Jesus Christ for the truth, God, show me the ultimate truth, God will start showing you things. You have to understand that the Lord God Almighty can open up the dimensions for you to see the truth if you have God on your side, if you have Christ with you, so that you're not falling away, so that you see things and go, whoa, that's crazy. Okay, I've got to warn other people about it. Or Satan can open up the spiritual dimensions and show you just a little bit, and you will fall further away from him. And that's what this Oats Studio is doing. They don't want people to know the Lord Jesus Christ. They want people to follow Satan and his nonsense so that they don't have a chance to get saved after they die. That's what Satan's all about. It's all about distraction. Look up celebrity politicians and pastors, okay? They took it down on the internet. I have to try to re-upload it. But this DVD, go get it at liesofthedevil.com in the shop. Get this DVD, plug it in, and watch it, okay? It's all a distraction so that Satan can enslave man with technology. Here we go. Here's the alien interview. This is what everybody thinks that all these aliens, they're here for the New Agers, especially, and the hippies. Oh, these aliens are here for the betterment of mankind, to help us evolve into into new species so that we can live out in the universe with them. That's Satan's basically universal religion.
Okay, illuminate us. What happens when we die? Okay, so let me get this straight. There's no death, and we all experience each other's lives, right? Okay, so how was the universe created, and why is it so perfectly made for us?
Do you understand what you just saw? You saw somebody who made a film with an alien interview. One of them sounded like he was a creationist, right? Why is this all perfectly designed for us? A creationist, a Christian, asking this alien what's going on. And this alien is saying, basically, there is no God. Everything was designed with multiple universes, or the spiritual world that we can't see here on Earth, okay? And that we're all one. Who wants to bring the world together? Who wants to totally unite the world and get rid of God? Satan. Here's a clip of this guy, District 9, at one of his films, where basically a bunch of aliens land on Earth, and they're beings that we should immigrate into our society.
The government noticed that they were moving into new areas. That's when things started to get out of hand.
Skeptics who doubt the authenticity of the Carter Aquarius document find it unbelievable that highly advanced alien beings would allow one of their own to die under the primitive medical care of a species that had barely begun to conquer its own diseases. But as we will hear, there are those who claim that to the aliens, death is not a final end to be feared, but a mere transition.
It was in the late 40s and early 50s that the U.S. government's policy toward UFOs was formulated. Publicly, there was Project Blue Book, which made a great show of gathering data on all the major UFO sightings, finally declaring them all to be hoaxes, mass hysteria, or swamp gas. But secretly, there may have been another policy at work.
Do you understand that? Secretly, there may have been other things going on. They have no idea. They have no idea. Honestly, this whole thing, the government is not all that bad. People, you know what I mean? They're not trying to like hurt people. They're not all the time. They're not all evil people in the government. Okay? There are good people in government that are trying to do their job, and honestly, I've looked into this alien stuff. All I see are people, really mass hysteria and stuff like that. That's all I see. It's all in their heads because Satan has implanted those ideas in there. Okay? Now, there are actual things on Earth that they are creating as spaceship, which I already went through, that they're using for military. And again, anyway, I went through that whole thing. Now, I want to jump back to that alien that had that interview with that military guy, the fake alien interview, and the whole entire time the alien just looks like he's upset, like, you know, like we should coddle him and you know, don't interview him. He's so much smarter than you. You know what I mean? And he's just like distraught. This alien is distraught. And it goes back to District 9 that we should mingle with the aliens and embrace their way of living, and they will embrace our way of living. Okay? Hold on, I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back to this clip.
destroy ourselves with nuclear war. Can you be more specific, please?
So this alien, like, if you go watch that clip, the whole entire time is like, you know how, like, people can do that when they're anxious or whatever, like they're frustrated. Okay, that's what this alien does the whole time. And so let's look at who's really behind this extraterrestrial push. It's actually the Vatican, the Roman Catholic Jesuits. Okay, they're behind all of this. A lot of it. Lucifer is helping Vatican astronomers look for extraterrestrials. Why would the Roman Catholic Jesuits call a telescope Lucifer? As Popular Science explains, Lucifer is an acronym for the instrument's lengthy title, Large Binocular Telescope Near Infrared Utility with Camera Integral Field Unit for Extragalactical Research. Okay? And then they get the acronym for, Lucifer. This instrument is attached to the University of Arizona's Large Binocular Telescope. Okay, so that's what this thing is. It's a huge telescope that looks at heat signatures and works hand in hand with NASA trying to find exoplanets and extraterrestrial life. We are not alone, says Vatican. Pope's chief astronomer says alien life exists, but it is unlikely that they have been visited by Jesus. So the whole entire Bible is not right. That Eve is not the mother of all living human beings, and that creation is all a joke, and that God created multiple species outside the universe, and they might be more technologically advanced than us, but Jesus Christ did not go and visit them. Not yet. Doesn't that sound insane? These people are supposed to be lovers of the Bible, right? It is just over 380 years since the Catholic Church condemned Galileo for arguing that the Earth was not the center of the universe. Astronomers at the Vatican Observatory, which has been studying the heavens since 1582, have said discoveries of new Earth-like planets have strengthened their belief that there could be life on alien planets. Okay, they're called exoplanets, and they say that they could harbor life, and that these planets could be in the Goldilocks zone, meaning just enough heat, the right temperature, everything to have life. Earth is a perfectly designed, it's an amazing planet that God designed for us. It's perfect, the perfect temperature for water, for human beings to live. So these astronomers are looking at planets that are millions of light years away, called exoplanets, and saying, maybe there's life out there. Yes, and there's ETs as well. I know it. I could see it in the water. I could see little bacteria forming in the water hundreds of millions of light years away through my binoculars. You know? It's like, and there's aliens, and they want peace. And you're going to go back into this, it's like, we're going to baptize them. If there's aliens, they have souls. And when they come down here, we're going to baptize them in the name of the Roman Catholic Church. Okay, these people have totally lost it. You know what it is? They're speaking with Satan. They're indoctrinated into Luciferianism. Vatican astronomer willing to baptize aliens speaks at Georgetown commencement. Okay, this is the guy that is behind the whole Lucifer telescope project, basically trying to usher in demonology through aliens here on Earth. Pope Francis, who's a Jesuit, also recently made comments about baptizing aliens, stating that Christians cannot close the door to all those who seek baptism, even if they are green men with a long nose and big ears like children draw. That's who this guy is. He's the guy that has a bunch of pedophiles surrounding him. Okay? And religious leaders get high on magic mushrooms and mushrooms ingredient. Okay? So now you have these religious leaders all taking drugs, a Catholic priest, a rabbi, and a Buddhist walk into a bar and order some magic mushrooms. It may sound like a first liner of a bad joke, but this scenario is actually playing out. And they're basically trying to figure out how can they get a one world religion, how can they take all these different theologies and biblical doctrinal issues in these different denominations and merge them and mash them all together with these New Age Buddhists and Hindus and come up with a one world religion with psychedelic drugs. Meanwhile, as they're doing this, they're propagating alien nonsense and demonology in Hollywood and on the internet with this Oats Studios, so that when the opportunity arises, people will stop. Christians will be so fed up thinking, where is God? Where is God? Where's this, the great falling away? The atheists and the Christians will get done fighting so much so that they'll get totally exhausted, that they'll want a Luciferian religion, a one world religion, so that there'll be final peace. They're going to take the religious leaders who have been brainwashed into wanting to implement a one world religion, and if the alien invasion is for real, if God allows that to happen, and that actually happens, okay, this is what I think. Human beings can create artificial intelligence, okay? And I think that these little alien green men will be artificial intelligence. They'll be biological artificial intelligence, so that demons, the energy from demons can warp through these entities, okay? And that's how they're going to show themselves, because they have to have physical manifestations. Now, the Antichrist, I believe, if there's a such thing called Anunnaki out there in space, okay, and this is an if. I don't believe this, but if Anunnakis that people talk with, these New Agers talk with, that these blonde-haired, blue-eyed, Aryan race type entities, that if they are humans, they will come down and say, "Oh, you guys have been watching my little green men." My little green Lucifer, Antichrist. You guys have been hanging out with my little green men. They're just my robots. And he will then be able, Lucifer will be able to speak with programs and artificial intelligence in such a way it will fool people into thinking that he's performing miracles and that he's the Messiah. Okay? That's if all this stuff pans out. That would be my theory. Let's go back into these videos. Here we go. This guy, he's at a therapist's office, and she's doing hypnotherapy, and he's conjuring up all these scenes of aliens in his house and stuff.
Good. I can't do this.
Whitley, tell me what you see.
It's almost as if this figure is... It's covered in something. It's sticking something into my mind.
In the meantime, the visitors act like creepy, uninvited house guests, lurking behind doors and peeking around corners. Strieber's encounters with the visitors leave him reeling, confused, and obsessed. The obsession appears to be mutual, as the visitors persist in terrorizing his family.
That's not it.
Number 3, Karen.
And I'm going to show you why it's so dangerous to be doing hypnotherapy. It's very dangerous because they can implant false ideas, false memories into you. So if you're brainwashed in Hollywood thinking there's really aliens, you go to a hypnotherapist, which a lot of people do. A lot of these alien people, if you go look, the people that have been abducted by aliens, a lot of them go to a hypnotherapist, and it only expounds on what they believe that they saw or witnessed or went through. Okay? In their mind, as they were sleeping, they were probably having dreams of demons. Okay? And then all of a sudden they go to a hypnotherapist, and the hypnotherapist expounds and makes these people really believe that that's what happened, and then they become fanatics. Despite the ethical limitations imposed on laboratory studies of artificially created memories, research showed that creating false memories of a relatively benign childhood experience, becoming lost in a shopping mall as a young child, was easily induced. The phenomenon, and that's for a child, that's not including an adult. This phenomenon is commonly seen not only in recovered memory cases, but in people who recall details of alien abductions or past lives, which can be produced by improperly administered hypnosis or other psychotherapeutic methods. And the false memory phenomenon extends beyond therapeutic settings. A recent article by Slate Magazine talks about false memories, did an informal study using online readers, presenting a series of doctored and real photographs. At least 15% of online readers reporting remembering doctored pictures of public events. So they put out fake photographs, and in their study, the people that saw the fake photographs of an event ended up saying that it happened in real life, that they saw it in real life when it never happened. Okay, that's what Hollywood's doing to people. They're messing with people's minds. You know, we haven't even talked about how, you know, they try to teach people how to be a man with Clint Eastwood movies and cowboy movies and, you know, like, I'm a loner. Don't talk to me. Good. Everybody's not paying attention. And they're sitting there drinking their whiskey. And then some guy comes by and sits next to him and is like, what did you say? Ah! Sorry, getting a little excited here. Taking out guns. You know what I mean? And that's what people think is a man. Okay? They have no idea what a biblical man is. Look at all the people out there that are these quote-unquote patriots and how they're acting. A man, you know. Okay. I'm going to get off that. Okay. I'm just having a little fun here. So, let's look into Ghostbusters. At a young age, Ghostbuster films were showing demonology and brainwashing kids at a very young age that this stuff was true. Just take a look at the pyramid, take a look at the Illuminati symbolism, take a look at this demon person that's next to a bunch of dogs. Just pay attention.
Gozerian? Good evening. As a duly designated representative of the city, county, and state of New York, I order you to cease any and all supernatural activity and return forthwith to your place of origin.
Okay? I remember being a kid and watching Ghostbusters and thinking it was totally cool. So did everybody else that was a kid. And you know what? It introduced them to demonology at a very young age. That's what Ghostbusters is. And you got this guy, Dan Aykroyd. He's been doing too many Ghostbuster movies because now the guy says that he sees aliens everywhere. He says that he'll be walking out of his limousine and he'll be... This is actual testimony. I should have brought up the video. He was getting out of his limousine. He turned to the right, saw a men in black in a car that was hanging out over there on the street corner watching him. He turned away, realized, wait a second, what was that? Turned back, it wasn't there anymore. And he sees stuff like that all the time. And now he's going out saying, you know, and that he believes in aliens. And he was, dude, you've been in too many Ghostbuster movies. Okay? So, technology. Let's get into technology. This clip right here is from a movie called Her, okay? And it goes back to the real alien is artificial intelligence. That's what Satan is using as a distraction. It's all about distraction. So in this movie clip, it's a creepy movie, okay? But people are so inundated with social media and whatnot that they actually start a relationship with a robot on the phone. That becomes his new girlfriend. And that's how he lives out his fantasies. Look at what's happening with robotic sex dolls. Oh my gosh. I need to make like a really long documentary about all this stuff and just break it down piece by piece. But so that's what the real alien is. That is what is going to destroy mankind is technology. The misuse of it and the obsession of it.
How long before you're ready to date?
What do you mean?
I saw in your emails that you'd gone through a breakup.
Well, you're kind of nosy.
It's kind of like a form of socially acceptable insanity.
What does a baby computer call its father?
I don't know what.
Data.
So this guy falls in love with his computer, basically, okay? This made-up fake thing, you know. Let's see here. I'm not sure if I'm missing anything. Let's go back to DARPA. Here we go. I wonder if it's going to let me get on here. Yeah, Gizmodo. DARPA's brain chip implants could be the next big mental health breakthrough or a total disaster. Mark of the Beast, okay? Since then, science has frequently exploited the link in the name of sometimes misguided self-improvement, changed the brain and changed the self. One common, but in hindsight abhorred, lobotomies were the first treatment to offer relief from mental illness by disrupting the brain circuitry, severing the connections to and from the prefrontal cortex. Okay, that's what these mad scientists do. Look what Adolf Hitler and Joseph Stalin and all of them do. These atheists that don't care about God, they look at the human body as what can we do with it. They're self-aggrandizing. They love themselves so much. They love worshiping themselves and getting all this knowledge and what they deem knowledge, and they go experiment on people, cut open brains, cut off the heads of animals, try to connect different nervous systems together, and that's what they do, and they enjoy it. And now they're doing it with technology. And Satan is just using all that stuff. So I want to get back. I want to go into the videos and show you that. Watch this. It's Oats Studios Firebase. It's an alien from, I think, the Vietnam War that they see on the battlefield using cloak technology, and that's not a new concept. That was in Predator, and they're trying to do that in the military with actual human beings.
Set that jungle on fire. We burn everything. There he was, just standing there. Not running. No pain. Invisible. Except for the napalm just sticking to him.
Here's a clip from Predator about, these aliens having cloaking technology. Okay? Go look at the documentary Arnold Schwarzenegger, baby maker, bodybuilder, Nazi sympathizer. Okay? I know it sounds crazy, but go just watch that documentary. Arnold Schwarzenegger is being used, just like this guy at Oats Studio, being used by Satan to say that men can have babies. He's in a movie called Junior. Look at the transgender, transsexual agenda that's going on right now. Okay? They're trying to destroy human beings. Can I say it enough? They're trying to destroy human beings in any way, shape, or form. That's what Satan's trying to do. Here we go. Technology. Now pay close attention to this. See Europa? See that goddess? Okay, Europa. Pay attention.
I am a believer in the perfectibility of human beings. At the circle, we can finally realize our potential. When we are our best selves, there isn't a problem that we cannot solve. We can cure any disease, and we can end hunger.
Your absence at several events.
Sorry, my dad had an episode and I was home helping out.
Is that related to his MS?
I've been looking into your parents' situation, and I have an idea. I was thinking it would make sense for May's folks to come on the Circle Health Plan.
I want to say how much I value what you've done for my family.
May, you're a valued part of the circle. We care about everybody you care about. May's only been with us for a few months, but she has made quite an impression.
Everything recorded, seen, broadcast. Things at the circle, they need to change. Everything recorded, seen, broadcast is stored and analyzed here. They can use it however they see fit, no matter what its cost.
Okay, that's what Facebook and them are all doing. Oh no, man! I've got to make a total like 20 disc set of all these things and break it down. That's what Facebook is doing. You know what Facebook is? I remember being in college and Facebook being like a really cool thing. You know what Facebook is? It's a big yearbook. Okay? It's a big yearbook, and people can analyze your face and sell off your information to advertising companies and use it themselves for pre-crime. And unfortunately, there's going to be people in the government and military who are evil that are going to use it for malicious purposes. All right? They're already doing it. They're mapping out people's faces. In Facebook, you upload a picture of somebody, it will instantly say, hey, do you want to tag your friend? It's like, how did Facebook know that? That person is at a barbecue and they're like 20 tables down. How are they able to, you know? Okay, my point is like, hey, you want to tag your little boy here? How do they know that he's got barbecue all over his face? How can they map him out? So my point is that they want to control everything. Okay, that's what's alien, not the aliens, not there. Okay, they're saying, oh, the aliens are the ones giving us technology so that we can, you know, implement it. And no, it's people. Yes, to a certain degree. Yes, it's the idea that they are getting from Satan to materialize what he wants in the future with a technocratic state to be a tyrant and to control people. Okay? So yes, it is alien. The technology is alien. Because it's not godly. It's not of God. I haven't read a Bible verse here in a little while. I've got to do that. Nehemiah 9:6. Thou, even thou, art Lord alone. Thou hast made heaven, the heaven of heavens, with all their host, the earth and all things that are therein, the seas and all that is therein, and thou preservest them all, and the host of heaven worshipeth thee. Listen, God created everything. God created man. We screwed up, and instead of us creating good things for each other here on earth, man who is inherently evil with a sin problem, okay? That's how they're raised up, with a sin problem, because we're fallen creatures. They decide to do things for an evil way to enslave mankind. And Satan is loving it. He's using most of the men to do the work. And he'll come down when he's ready, when he's burned everything down, and he's totally got everything under his control in a technocratic state. He'll come down and he'll run it all. At least that's what he thinks he's going to do until God comes back. Here's the presidential. Here's the Oats Studios, the presidential motorcade. Pay attention. I hope it wasn't muted the other time. Okay, it wasn't. Pay attention to this motorcade. I'm gonna show you guys something here. That's the new presidential motorcade. Are you seeing what's on there? Do you see that eagle? Do you see that woman sitting on the eagle? Now, I don't know exactly who that woman is. The best I could come up with was the goddess Europa, okay? That you saw in the beginning of that film, that fairy-looking thing. That's sitting on a golden eagle. Now, and the golden eagle, or the large eagle, what is that in the Greek mythology? Let's take a look at that. The Oats Studios was a giant golden eagle which served as Zeus's personal messenger and animal companion. So he was the angel is a Zeus's personal messenger. According to others, Zeus adopted the eagle when it was first appeared to him before the Titan war as a sign of good omen. The eagle was later sent by Zeus to fetch the handsome youth Ganymedes to heaven to become the cupbearer for the gods. Okay? So these guys at Studio Oats, they know what they're doing. You got Buddha in the background of that guy, a big head of Buddha, okay? New Age, Buddha, everybody could reach perfectibility, okay? And you've got all these mythological alien demonology. Now they got mythology mixed together. These people are using all of their vain imagination, not in the obedience of Christ, outside of that, and Satan is using them to promote and propagate all kinds of stuff. Ecclesiastes 1:14-15. I have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and vexation of spirit. That which is crooked cannot be made straight, and that which is wanting cannot be numbered. Here's we're gonna wrap this up. Now here's the Illuminati television commercial, internet commercial. There's an actual website called Illuminati IM, and it's basically a place to become a member of the Illuminati. Now, I'm not going to say specifics, but I had a buddy, a brother in the Lord, strong brother in the Lord, say that he basically ran across an Illuminati member who had tattoos that I'm not going to talk about right now, and was talking about how he is friends with the Freemasons, and when he goes to their little clubs, their little meetings, that they basically, he swaps his wife out with people so she can sleep with other people. And this gets into the end of the documentary of elites having parties and having debauchery and orgies so they can blackmail each other, because that's what Satan does. He blackmails people. Okay? So this is like so bizarre. People have no idea. And if you're not a Christian, wake up, man. Wake up. If you're a Christian, you know what I'm talking about, and it gets crazier and crazier. All right? So let's look into this internet television commercial. It's all about uniting people against the establishment, against the government, and uniting people and becoming one and going out into the stars. And I'm going to blow your mind. The person that everybody thinks is a truth teller is not a truth teller. He's part of it looks like he's part of the Illuminati, and he's trying to rebel rouse to tear down the government we have right now through, I'd say, fake news, but I'm not sure if it's really that, because sometimes he does say, well, anyway, let's get to that. Let's just watch this first.
Fear not, for your war-stricken, poverty-ridden planet. You are safe. Help is on the way. Your prosperity is the core objective of our universal design. The path for humanity has spanned throughout ages to ensure the survival and prosperity of the other. A different age is upon us. Fear not for the bursting sounds that echo across your red horizons. Prepare your life for the light that grows steadily brighter in the distance. As the dawn comes to rid your battlefields of darkness, the age of Illuminatium will begin. Fear nothing. We are always watching out for you.
Sounds a little creepy, huh? Remember Circle with all the technology? Your business is our business because we are watching out for you. Don't worry about the man with the ski mask, because you know too much, that he might break in and, well, let's just say don't talk about who the Circle really is. Don't expose the Illuminati. You know what I mean? These people do not care, all right? They do not care about you. They're using alien propaganda to brainwash you, and they're trying to cause paranoia. Now, let's look at the Illuminatium website. And this is a real website. Join the Illuminati. Again, I already told you about a guy who says that he's a member of the Illuminati and what they do. Okay? The maze of existence. Life is a maze that is drawn by your decisions. Every day, the maze of existence presents you with hundreds of pathways, and you must select a direction through your choices, where to go, basically. The map of life can only be followed backwards, showing the path from the end to the beginning. Here we go. Criticism is the restraint that holds a leader from becoming a dictator. I agree with that, but here's the thing. They're using it in a perverted way, right? Many seek a reward before they are prepared to receive it. A gambler can suddenly obtain a fortune but lose it all because he did not have the knowledge of how to save it. Okay? Greatness has no destination. It's a road must be traveled endlessly to be understood. What did Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, all these people that are part of the Freemasonry? They wanted total freedom so they could worship Satan. Okay? And they coded it under the gospel of Jesus Christ and God and perverted the Bible. Okay? That's what people that I'm going to be showing you are doing the same thing. They want to explore the stars. They want to get in touch with aliens. They want to be star trackers, basically. And they want total control over the world, and they think that they know better than God and the people that are here on Earth. They know better. And they're watching after us like daddies and mommies. They're the gods. Goes back to Katy Perry and Hollywood and the music industry and what they believe. I'll just show you this video. This guy did an amazing job. I just saw his video. Jimbo Jones. Okay? Go subscribe to him. He's put out some great stuff so far. Watch this. And this is he's using Alex Jones' own words.
And so what you see as Masons today is just those schools going on. And there have been hundreds of different variants and groups and Rosicrucian orders within the Masons, and the Illuminati, founded in Germany, was a counter-Illuminati to the real Illuminati that was just called itself the Enlightenment, and then in Latin Illuminati, but it didn't call itself. Sir Francis Bacon, all of that, hundreds of years before the Jesuit priest Adam Weishaupt. The modern Illuminati was a Catholic spinoff in an attempt to take over the Illuminati and the Rosicrucians. And yes, undoubtedly, my family on both sides on the Mayflower, hardcore Protestants, you could say Rosicrucians. This country was founded by real Rosicrucians, not the Rosicrucians you see out there today. And so, undoubtedly, if you want to say it, I mean, I would say I come out of a classical Enlightenment family.
Do you understand that, people? So all the people that are saying Alex Jones is Illuminati and he makes fun of them, he's now admitting he was. He is. He's saying that the Illuminati, the original Illuminati, was good, and that other organizations like the Roman Catholic Church trying to hijack the Illuminati created the bad Illuminati. And so there's always been a good Illuminati versus a bad Illuminati. The good part of Freemason going against the bad part of Freemason, and they're constantly fighting each other. And I told you that that's what they're doing. It's admitted that that's what these people are doing. And in fact, the Illuminati doesn't even care about exposing themselves as long as they get their agenda passed through. So Alex Jones is Illuminati. He just said it. He just admitted it. Not only that, but his family's part of CIA. So you've got this alternative news, what they call alt-right, and Alex Jones is trying to use, he's being used to destroy Fox News, CNN, all that stuff, and hardcore conservative. So they've got him on one side doing all this stuff, and now you got this other guy from Oats Studios going out and doing filmmaking on the other side out in the internet world and creating hardcore alien propaganda. Let's go explore the stars, whatever. And Alex Jones doing the same thing. Let's go explore the stars. I'm part of the Illuminati. Okay? I went and I showed you in this, oh man, celebrity politicians and pastors, okay? At the very end of it, I show that at Lincoln Park, part of it, okay, talking about how they're going to build it back up only to burn it down. They can't wait to burn it to the ground. What is Alex Jones doing? He's trying to burn down to the ground media that's the traditional media, okay? And using and it's mixing truth, what's really going on in the world, with Satanism and weird conspiracy stuff that's just like totally out there. And he's fooling the Christians that saying that he's a Christian. He's not a Christian. Listen to what he says. Listen to how he acts. I want to show you just kind of like how good he is at detracting other, how good he is at displacing blame and displacing questions he should be answering. He displaces that, and he's very good at that.
Big brother, mainstream media. You want answers? Well, so do I. I'm Alex Jones, your host. By the way, if you're a TV viewer watching us right now, there's a big controversy going. There is a pyramid graphic that we've been having when we come in that shows the United Nations, and there's another one that shows a world government flag, world order. But I can get some people thinking that we're trying to get something over on them because it doesn't show the next part where it burst into flames. It burns. So somehow in that graphic sequence, we need to get the part where it burns. But why did Christ say you judge a tree by its fruits? We're against the corrupt global government. We're against Illuminati-style systems. We're against...
Coming from a guy who admits he's Illuminati. Do you understand? Do you understand that this guy went to court with his wife for his children, and she had psychological problems because of this Alex Jones? I just got done covering a documentary where somebody did that to his wife and his family. Okay, these people are out there. They're crazy. This guy, Alex Jones... Anyway, I'll do something later on. I'll do something later on about that. Let's get right into We Are the New Media. This is Alex Jones' crew. Okay? Look at this website. We Are the Media, the rebirth of the true free press. Illuminati. Now, just look at the symbolism here. Look at all the symbolism. Look at the background. Look at all the alien geometrical shapes. Right there. Look at, you got the Star of David. You've got the Kabbalistic type layouts right there. And the Star of David, I'll get into all the symbolism later. So here we go. One great work. You got Illuminati right here. You've got a pagan, Trinity, I can't remember the symbol right now. Something about consciousness, raise your consciousness. You have the Tree of Life from the Kabbalah right here. You've got death. You got the skull and bones type stuff right here. Anyway, go to wearethenewmedia.com, and it's got stars in the background. Like, go to explore the stars. All right, I'm gonna end it on this. I'm going to end it on this right here. The way Satan blackmails people and the elites and what they do in high echelons and places. And I just want to end it right here by explaining that a lot of music is telling you what these people are doing. Because a lot of these people, they get caught in the system. They know that they sold themselves out. They know that Satan is running their life at this point for all the fame and the fortune, and they're trying to warn people. If they're not trying to do that, they are a part of it and they're laughing at you. Okay? So a lot of this stuff on the internet, all the truth movement type stuff, all these Christian pastors and all these Gnostics that are out there that say that they're Christian, they're not Christian. Paul Young, for instance, from The Shack. That's just flat out, you should see the way, go see the video of The Shack. The DVD, you can get it at liesofthedevil.com. He's part of the Freemasonry. If he's not part of the Freemasonry, he's buddies with them. He went to the actual underground part of their Freemason church and was like hanging out with them and talking about how his book and stuff. Just watch that documentary. Yet go get it at liesofthedevil.com. It's free. Just order the DVD. We'll send it out to you. Watch it. It's an hour and a half long. Here we go. Eyes Wide Shut. This was a movie by Stanley Kubrick. This is what these people do. This guy was a stranger. He just by chance got into the mansion he was high up there. He was a doctor who had everything he wanted, and he ended up getting in contact with a man who was at this mansion and getting their secret password. He went and bought the mask to hide his face because that's what these people do. Okay, they know who's there, but they hide their face so that they can do whatever they want to each other, even though the high echelon, the elites, know who everybody is. And so this guy goes and he goes into the mansion where there's tons of people having orgies, doing all kinds of weird stuff, blackmailing each other. I'm not going to show you the sex, okay? I'm not going to do that, but this is a scene from that movie, and just watch this. This is what really goes on.
Fidelio. That's right, sir. That is the password for admittance. But may I ask, what is the password for the house?
Forgotten it.
That's unfortunate. Because here, it doesn't matter whether you have forgotten it, or if you never knew it. You will kindly remove your mask.
Once he removes his mask, they end up like harassing him and letting him know, don't talk about what you saw or you'll die. And after Stanley Kubrick finished making this movie, shortly after, he died of cancer. Now, whether they killed him because they can inject you with cancer poison, okay? Because he tattled on them. You don't tattle on them, right? That's what the movie Circle's all about. Don't tell everybody what we're doing with our technology. That's what psychopaths do. They threaten you. We went through it, okay, to a certain degree. And so I want to show you this music video, and it's basically a guy who, OneRepublic, he used to produce a lot of music for other people. He actually would produce their music. He came out and made his own band, and he's basically warning people, saying, listen, they have all the right people in all the right places, and so yeah, you're going down. And he's using Stanley Kubrick's scene of people in masks in a ballroom, and they're all dancing and they're all at a party. He's basically warning you all.
I know things are looking up, but soon they'll take us down before anybody's going on it. They got all the right friends and all the right places, so yeah, we're going down. They got all the right moves and all the right places, so yeah, we're going down.
Okay? People like Alex Jones, Satan has strategically placed people all over the map. Okay, guys, I'm trying to tell you right now, I'm freaking out because we're the real deal, okay? Me and my wife are the real deal. We're soldiers for Christ trying to wake you up. We're not fools. We're not people that are trying to fool you and trying to take your money and selling you umbrellas in a rainstorm, okay? You've got people that are violent Christians that are trying to tell everybody, hey, we need to rebel rouse, we need to take our country back through whatever means possible. You've got other people that are trying to teach the truth about the Bible, but then they're twisting their theology just a little bit to lead people into a Gnostic realm, to lead people away from the Lord. You got people like Alex Jones who are teaching you the truth about, sometimes the truth, like 70-80% truth, and mixing a little dirt in there, some lies, to try to lead you down the wrong road and to try to lead you down a Gnostic propaganda tunnel and trying to say that you should explore the stars. You got other people out there in Hollywood that are promoting alien propaganda, like that's Oats Studios, okay? You've got all these people causing distractions, leading people away from the Lord Jesus Christ, and very, very little truth movement, real truth tellers out there trying to give you guys meat, trying to evangelize, trying to lead people to the Lord Jesus Christ. And we're one of those people, okay? We're not messing around here. Okay, I look at this stuff, when I put all this stuff together, I've seen it for so long, and I've met so many psychopaths that all this stuff is like, whatever, put